Hi, it's Brett from SRmoto.com. Just wanted to give a quick update on the status of our 2008 Yamaha WR250R project bike. Right now we've got the SRmoto wheels and tires on the bike, as well as some Wolfman bags. So the bike's kind of in a SRmoto / adventure bike type setup. I wanted to go over some of the things we've done to it. Up front here, we're running the Zeta Armor handguard package, which consists of the Zeta aluminum armor handguards. We've got the black ones on. We got the 1 1/8 inch size, since we're running the 1 1/8 inch bars. But we do have these mounted a little bit differently. Typically, you know, it's going to bolt into the end of the bar here, and then also on the inboard side, there will be a clamp that attaches the handlebar and the armor handguard itself. But we're running the upper triple clamp mount from Zeta. A little bit stronger mount for the handguard. Bolts to the upper triple clamp via a special bracket that Zeta makes. And then we're running the Zeta XC flasher protectors. As you can see, there are no turn signals there anymore. The factory ones are gone. And we've got the integrated turn signals now in the protector itself. They're also available in a standard plastic protector if you want to run your normal turn signals and just the plastic protectors at the front. On the throttle side, mount's pretty much the same way. You got to cut the end of the grip off, and you got to trim the end of the throttle tube and make sure that nothing's rubbing there and that the throttle moves freely. Then inboard side, again, we're attached to that upper triple clamp bolt. One other thing you'll notice here is we've got these running as running lights. Typically when you install LED turn signals, you're going to lose the running light feature if your bike had factory turn signal running lights. And that's because of the way the LEDs work. They just don't work properly as LEDs. So what we've done is we've installed a 12 o'clock Labs running light adapter, and that allows these to work as running lights in addition to working as flashers. It's just a little device that you wire into when you do the wiring for the new turn signals, and then bingo, they work as running lights. Kind of show you how the turn signals work. See there, they're going to flash nice and bright. You also notice these are flashing pretty slow, at a pretty slow rate, kind of like the factory turn signals do. Typically when you install LEDs, they're going to flash really fast. But what we've done is installed the 12 o'clock Labs fixed rate turn signal flasher, which on the WR250R and X is a real simple installation. Plugs in right down by the battery. Takes about 30 seconds to plug it in, and then you don't have to do any type of wiring or anything. It'll return the flash rate to that slower flash rate. So again, that was the 12 o'clock Labs fixed rate turn signal flasher. And then the thing that allows them to work as running lights is the 12 o'clock Labs running light adapter. All of that stuff is available at SRmoto.com. And that's the Zeta Armor handguard package deal. Out back, we are running a DRC Edge taillight kit. And bolted to it, we have the DRC Type 602 flashers in the smoke color. And then you'll notice the tail light, or the running light in this case, is pretty bright. Inside the tail light, we've got installed a 12 o'clock Labs Edge 2 processor upgrade board, which not only makes the tail light itself brighter, but it gives you some features like safety brake pulsing. Like every time you hit the brakes, it's going to pulse a couple times. And then it'll also even let you integrate turn signals into the tail light if you don't want to run the external turn signals like we're running here. Real nice product. I like it because it makes the tail light brighter, as well as giving you that safety brake pulsing feature. Kind of show you how the turn signals work. And again, you'll notice that they're flashing at that slow factory flash rate, and that's because of that 12 o'clock Labs fixed rate turn signal flasher we have installed. So that's again the DRC Edge taillight kit, DRC Type 602 flashers, and the 12 o'clock Labs Edge 2 processor upgrade board. All that stuff is available at our website, SRmoto.com. Okay, I'm also running a Seat Concept seat kit, which, as you'll notice, is quite a bit wider than the factory seat. It's about 2 inches wider, I think, at its widest point. It's also a little bit softer foam material. A pretty much must-have modification if you're going to be doing long rides on the bike. The factory seat just doesn't cut it for that type of stuff. I've done quite a few 250-mile days on this seat and have no complaints. Very comfortable. There's a couple options with this seat. First of all, the foam height. I'm running the low foam height, which is about 3/4 of an inch lower than the stock seat height. And then there's also a standard foam height if you're okay with the stock seat height on the bike. As far as the seat cover material goes, I'm running what they call the gripper / carbon cover. And what that is, it's got like a carbon vinyl material on the side, has a carbon weave look to it. And then on the top, it's a gripper material, so it's pretty grippy on the top of the seat. So if you like to be held in place, that's kind of a good option. If you want to move around a little bit easier on the bike, there is an all carbon vinyl cover, which has this carbon vinyl on both the sides and the top. Again, that's the Seat Concepts seat kit. We do sell that at SRmoto.com. Kind of go down here to the foot pegs we're running. We've got a set of SRmoto billet Fastway F3 foot pegs installed. One of the nicer foot pegs on the market, I think. Not only is it wider, it gives you a larger platform, which is nice for standing on the bike, but it also gives you 3 rows of cleats instead of just 2 on the stock foot pegs. And then also these cleats are actually threaded into the foot pegs, so you can replace them if you ever need to. One of the really nice features of these foot pegs is the adjustability that they give you. I'm running these in the low position right now, but you can also raise them a little bit. You just flip the insert in there and it gives you a couple different foot peg heights. In addition to that, you can adjust the angle of the foot peg. If you want to angle your legs more towards the tank, there's a way to install some shims on a special bolt they have on the back side of the foot peg, which will let you adjust that angle of the foot peg. It's a real nice upgrade if you want something more worthy of off-road riding. It's the SRmoto billet Fastway F3 foot peg, and in this one I'm actually running the F5, which is just same foot peg, just a different style cleat than the F3. The F5 has just a different cleat to it. Another item we're running from SRmoto billet is their cargo rack. It's kind of hard to see here because I've got the Wolfman Peak tail bag installed, but it's a CNC machined aluminum cargo rack. Sits about a 1/2 inch up off the fender. You can see the spacers that go through the fender and bolt into the subframe of the bike, and the rack sits on those. It's a real nice option if you want to carry anything around on the bike. SRmoto billet cargo rack, and then attached to the top of it I've got a Wolfman Peak tail bag which fits on it perfectly. It's about the same exact size. Straps right to the side of it. It's not going to go anywhere. Holds quite a bit of stuff too. Let's see, what else? I'm running a Flatland Racing radiator guard. And the stock radiator on these bikes is not protected very well. Just the plastic tank shrouds are about the only thing that protect it. So this Flatland Racing radiator guard is nice because it surrounds the entire radiator and it bolts to the frame in 3 spots. Down here, up here, and then back here behind the tank shroud. It's actually bolted to the frame as well. So it surrounds the radiator. It's made out of aluminum. Nice and sturdy upgrade if you're doing any type of off-road riding and don't want to have to worry about trashing your radiator. Also from Flatland Racing, I'm running a Flatland Racing skid plate. One of the nicer skid plates on the market, I think. It does a really good job of protecting the sides of the engine as well as the front of the engine. Real simple installation on this. Two bolts in the front, 2 on the bottom, thread right into existing holes already on the frame. You don't have to do any type of modification to the bike or anything. And it does have an oversized oil drain plug on the bottom to help you drain the oil. Again, it's the Flatland Racing skid plate. Both the skid plate and the radiator guard are available at SRmoto.com. What else? One of the things I recently installed is the Zeta SX3 handlebars. Real nice 1 1/8 inch bar. I'm running, I think, the Motard medium bend, which is pretty similar to the stock handlebar. Again, it's a 1 1/8 inch size. Comes with the pad. Put on the middle there. Handguards bolted up to it really nicely. Didn't have to bend anything to get it to work. Also running some Pro Taper pillow grips. Real nice grip if you're looking to upgrade the stock grips. I also have an IMS 3.1 gallon gas tank on the bike. Another must-have if you're doing longer rides. Gives you another 50 to 70 miles of range. Stock tank shrouds bolt right up. Fit and finish is really nice on it. A tank bag will still work nice with it if you like to use tank bags. Again, it's the IMS 3.1 gallon fuel tank. We do sell those at SRmoto.com. I've also got SRmoto wheels and tires on the bike. I do a lot of street riding with it, so I'll put the SRmoto wheels on. These are SM Pro wheels in black, and they've got the blue hubs. Everything bolted up pretty easily in the front. We had to do a few things to the front to get it to work. We had to reroute the brake line to the outside of the fork to keep it from rubbing on the smaller 17-inch tires. And we used this little Zeta clamp there to clamp the brake line. Everything else bolted right up though. The stock front brake rotor bolted right up. And we did have to trim the white plastic fork protectors a little bit too to clear the tires. Nothing major. And in the rear, I think everything, if I remember correctly, everything bolted right up. It comes with spacers and everything. Didn't have to move or reroute anything. The stock rotor bolted right to the hub, as did the stock sprocket. Those are SM Pro SRmoto wheels. We're running Bridgestone BT090 tires, front and rear. I think it's the same tire that comes stock on the WR250X. You also see we've got the Zeta axle blocks in blue on both sides. And of course you've got to install the blue Zeta engine plugs. What else? Got some seal savers installed on the forks to help hopefully protect the fork seals for off-roading. One of the things I just added recently was the Wolfman Expedition dry saddlebags. Nice waterproof bag that will hold a lot of stuff. And I've got the Wolfman racks installed also. Those bolt to the frame of the bike. And the bags attached to it. attached to the rack. You did have to install a special bracket you see there to get the right side rack on. Otherwise, everything bolted right up. Bolts to the foot peg mount there. The passenger foot peg mount, I should say. And the rack extends back, and then the bag just kind of hangs from it. And then it's got straps that go over the seat to add even more support. Real popular upgrade though if you're doing longer rides. Hold a lot of stuff. They're waterproof. They fit the bike really nicely. And those are the Wolfman Expedition dry saddlebags. We've got the black ones on. They also come in yellow, I believe. And then the Wolfman racks for the WR250R. And then I mentioned earlier, we're running that Wolfman Peak tail bag. We've also got a Wolfman Expedition dry duffel bag, a size small that we put right there over the straps to carry a few more items. I don't use a tank bag. Not a big fan of tank bags, but I do occasionally run a carry-all, Wolfman carry-all, X carry-all, I think it's called, that mounts to the just above the headlight there. I think that's about it. The other thing you don't see here is we do have the stock off-road wheels, and we've got Dunlop D606 tires mounted to those for off-road riding. I've just got the SRmoto tires and everything on it right now because we've been doing some street riding. So again, that's our 2008 Yamaha WR250R project bike. You can get more info on the bike at SRmoto.com. And you can also visit our online store, which you can reach from SRmoto.com. But if you want to go directly there, it's soloracer.com/dualsportparts.html. Again, it's Brett from SRmoto.com. Thanks for watching.